Hi guys, welcome back. In today's video we'll be learning how to sew this beautiful corset top with stylish straps. I'll be dropping the link to the cutting video in the description so you can go watch that before you join us on this video. So guys, here's my pattern already cut out. I'm gonna head to cut this on my fabric. I'm using the same fabric as the lining as well. So guys, this is the center front. It is cut on fold and I cut two pieces of this. One is going to be the main piece and the other will serve as the lining piece. So guys, as you can see, I added allowance to these pieces, so I'll just go ahead to tell you how much allowance I added to each. For the top part, I added half an inch on all the pieces, and then for the sides that will be joining, I added 0.75 inch, and on the lower part I added half inch as well for all the pieces. Like I said, on the sides that will be joining, I added 0.75 inches, on this side as well 0.75, 0.75 and 0.75 inches. So note that the top and the lower part I added just half an inch. So like I said, 0.75 inches, 0.75 inches, 0.75 inches. Okay, for the side of the front piece, that's the third piece, I did not add any allowance to that side because we already added while cutting the pattern. So for the pattern label 2 and the pattern label 3, I cut 4 pieces each. Okay, and the center front, like I said, I cut 2 pieces each. So guys, this is the back piece. I also went ahead to cut 4 pieces of the side back and 4 pieces of the center back. This is to serve as both main piece and lining. So guys, I added 0.75 inch to this part, 0.75 inch this part, and half inch on this part, half inch on the top, half inch on the lower part for each of the pieces as well. And on the side back, okay, I did not add any allowance because we already added while drafting on the pattern. Same on this part, I didn't add any allowance. Like I said, this is the front piece, this is the side front. I didn't add any allowance because we already did that while drafting the pattern. Okay, so guys, this is the strap. I went ahead to add 0.25 inches on the other side, and on the lower part I added half inch. Okay, 0.25 inches, and on the lower part I added half inch, and I cut 4 pieces, 2 to serve as the main piece and 2 to serve as the lining piece. So guys, I noticed I have new subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing to my channel, and if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe and also give this video a thumbs up if you find it helpful, and also please don't forget to turn on your notification bell to get notified each time I post a new video. So guys, these are the front pieces. The next thing we are going to do is to iron our interfacing to each of these pieces. We'll be doing that for both the front and the back pieces. So I'll be using Haystay for this project. Remember that we'll be ironing the interfacing on the wrong side. Okay, iron your interfacing on the wrong side of your fabric, and then I'll just go ahead and do that and come show you guys. So guys, remember that this interfacing has an adhesive glue on one side. That's the side that is rough. It has an adhesive glue, so once you place heat on it, it will just melt it and then it will glue to your fabric. So I'll be doing that only on the main pieces and not the lining piece. You can also go ahead to add interfacing to your lining piece, but I'll be adding interfacing to only my main pieces. I'll do the same for the front and the back, and then I'll come back and show you guys how it looks. Before I take out my patterns on the back piece, I'll just go ahead to place notches on the side that I'll be joining and on the top part so I don't get confused while sewing. So I'll do that for the center back piece and also for the side back piece. So just make sure to place notches so you don't get confused while sewing. So guys, this is how it looks after adding my interfacing, as you can see. So I'll just go ahead to join my pieces together. I'll start with the front piece. I'll just pick my pieces. Make sure you don't get confused, okay? I'll pick my first piece, which is the center front, the second piece that we had labeled 2, and the third piece that we labeled 3. I'll just join it, and then I repeat the same step on the lining, and then I'll come show you guys how it looks. And then I'll also do the same for the back piece as well. I'll be joining my side back piece to my center back piece on the main fabric piece and also on the lining as well. I'll come show you guys how it looks. So guys, this is how it looks after I was done joining my pieces. This is my front piece, as you can see, and that's the main piece, and this is the lining piece for the front. I did the same for the back. This is the main back piece, as you can see, and this is also the main piece for the back, and then these are the lining pieces for the back as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is to open up my seams using my pressing iron. So I'll just head over to the ironing table and then open up my seams. As you can see, I'll just open up my seams on both fabric and lining. On the front piece as well, I'll repeat the same step. I'll just open up my pieces, and then on the curved part I'll be using my tailor's hammer to open up that seam, okay? So if you have a tailor's hammer, just use it to open up your seam on the curved part of your front piece. So guys, this is my tailor's ham. I'll just place that under the curved part like so and then iron it out, okay? So guys, I'll just head on to the ironing board and iron this and then come show you guys how it looks. So guys, this is how it looks after I was done. I've gone ahead to open up my seams with my iron, as you can see. The next thing I'm going to do now is this is the front piece, and then these are the back pieces, fabric and lining. I'll just go ahead to trim off the excess allowance on my lining pieces on both the front and the back piece as well, okay? So just go ahead to trim off your excess allowance on each of these pieces like so. Trimming off the allowance is to reduce bulkiness. So guys, I've finished trimming off the excess allowance on both lining pieces of the front and the back. So the next thing we are going to do is to create our boning channels for both front and back pieces. So I'll just go ahead to trim off one side of the allowance on the back piece. So just watch carefully to see the side I am trimming off. I just went ahead to trim off the allowance, and then I will flip it like so and then sew down by about half of an inch. I'll repeat the same step on the other back piece as well. I'll go ahead to trim off one part like so, and then I'll just flip this to the other side, and then I'll go ahead to sew by about half of an inch as well. For the front piece, I'll go ahead to sew down like so, and then sew on this side as well. I'll repeat the same step on all the sides and then come show you guys. So guys, this is how it looks after sewing down my boning channels like so, as you can see. This is how it looks. This is the back piece and this is the front piece. So I'll just go ahead now to join both back and front pieces together. You can join this together using your sewing allowance that you left initially, or you can go ahead to confirm your body measurements before joining. So I'll repeat the same step on the lining as well. I'll go ahead to join the lining pieces, both front and back pieces together. So guys, this is how it looks after I've joined the pieces, as you can see. So you can also go ahead to just trim off your excess allowance on the sides to reduce bulkiness. So guys, this is the lining piece and this is how it's going to be placed. But before then, we'll go ahead to work on our straps. So guys, for the straps, I'll just go ahead to sew by 0.25 inches. Okay, we'll be joining two pieces together. We'll sew by 0.25 inches like so, and then we'll leave the lower part open. So guys, after sewing, I'll just go ahead to turn this out. I'll be using my scissors to do this. I'll just bring it out like so, and then after bringing it out, I'll just give it a good press. And then after giving it a good press, I'll just go ahead to sew on it. So I'll just sew from this side. Make sure you give it a good press before you do that, okay, to the other side. So guys, this is how it looks after sewing, as you can see. So I'll be placing this on my back piece, okay. I'll just place it and then sew it down. So I just went in by 2 inches from the side joining like so, and then I'll just place my strap like so and then sew it down, okay. I'll repeat the same step on the other side as well. I'll go in by 2 inches from the side joining and then place my strap. So guys, this is how it looks after placing the straps. As you can see, the next thing we are going to do now is to attach our lining piece. So I'll just go ahead to sew the top part by 1/2 of an inch, the side by 1/2 of an inch, and the other side as well by 1/2 of an inch. So guys, this is how it looks after sewing the lining to the main piece. I'll just go ahead to trim the sharp corners like so, and then I'll just go ahead to flip this over. So after flipping this over, I'll just take this to the ironing board and then give it a good press. And then after giving it a good press, we'll go ahead to attach our boning. And then I'll also sew on this part like so, down by 1/2 of an inch. On this side as well by 1/2 of an inch, I'll sew it down. So that's going to be another boning channel. So guys, this is how it looks after I was done. I've gone ahead to sew by 1/2 of an inch on the side of the back, that's the center back. And then the next thing I'm going to do is to fix my eyelet. So I already have a video on how to fix eyelets using this eyelet plier. I'll link that in the description so you can go watch that and do yours as well. So guys, the next thing we are going to do now is to fix our boning, okay. So for my boning, I'll be using this 1/2 inch boning, okay. So I'll just go ahead to measure the parts that I want to fix this. As you can see, I'll make sure that the boning is short by about 1/2 of an inch. I'll just go ahead and cut it out, and then I will just trim the edges, just give it that shape so it doesn't poke your client or it doesn't poke you. So you just fix it like so, just pass it through the channel, and then you repeat the same steps for all the boning channels that you had created, okay. You just measure it like so, make sure it's short by about 1/2 of an inch. That's to enable us sew the down part, okay. If you don't do it that way, you won't be able to sew on it. So just make sure that it's short by 1/2 of an inch, and then you fix it. I'll repeat the same step on all the sides, and then I'll show you guys how it looks. So guys, this is how it looks after fixing my boning. I went ahead to give this a good press. So after fixing your boning, make sure you give this a good press. So after giving it a good press, I just went ahead to measure the lower part like so, whatever I got there, I just cut it on a straight piece measuring 1.5 inches, and then I went ahead to sew it like so. When you get to the end, you just make sure you fold it in like so. Do that on the beginning as well, fold it in and then sew. So guys, this is how it looks after sewing. I'm gonna head to sew it down by 1/2 inch. I'll just flip this over to the right side, and then I'm still going to fold in by 1/2 inch and then sew on top of it. Okay, so I'll just do that and come show you guys how it looks. So guys, this is how it looks after I was done. The wetness of my fabric is because I used the steam iron. So this is how it looks. We are done with sewing this beautiful top. The next thing we're going to do is to make a hole on that part just after the boning. Okay, just after the boning on that part, we just make a hole and then make a hole as well on the strap and fix our eyelets, as you can see on that part, and then on the strap and then fix the eyelets. So guys, this is how it looks after I was done fixing the eyelets. You can see how beautiful this looks. I'll just go ahead now to cut out my ribbon. So just make sure you cut enough length to be able to tie a very beautiful bow. So this is it. When you cut it, just make sure you give it this shape at both ends. So guys, I'll be using my ribbons to lace my corset as well. I also went ahead to cut out a very long piece of my ribbons to use to lace my corset. To my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much. I love you guys. If you are new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe and also give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and also please don't forget to turn on your notification bell to get notified each time I post a new video, and also please don't forget to share this video with your friends. And also guys, please do well to check out our other videos as well. So guys, this is the finished look of our top. You can see how beautiful this turned out. If you have any questions, you can drop your questions in the comments. Okay, thank you all for stopping by, and bye. See you in my next one.